My name's John from Supply Partners. We're here at the 2016 Australian Solar and Energy Storage Conference in Melbourne today. We're here with Andrew from Gippsland Solar.
Hello, how you going?
Super well, my friend. Good to see you here.
How good is it? Industry is buzzing at the moment.
Indeed, my friend. A few questions about your business. What is the location and service area of Gippsland Solar?
So Gippsland Solar is based in Gippsland, funnily enough, and we do solar. So we thought that was a really good name. So we're based in Gippsland in eastern Victoria. We cover basically from the city right down to Mallacoota out to the New South Wales border. So around about 25% of the state. It's a large area, so it keeps the petrol stations in business and business is booming for us at the moment.
That's great. And how long has Gippsland Solar been in business?
So I founded Gippsland Solar in 2010. I moved down from the city for family reasons to start a little family in a little country town. Couldn't find a job doing solar anywhere because there was no companies to work for. So I eventually just started a business from my third bedroom. Had no intentions of having any staff. I just had an office with an invoice book and a laptop and a beaten up old Ford Courier. And then word of mouth spread it and we got a good reputation and we didn't advertise, but organically we grew quite quickly. And now 6 years later, we've got 18 full-time staff, got 9 vehicles on the road. We install about 40 or 50 kilowatts a week of solar, and we just continue to keep growing and so far everything's going well.
That's wonderful. You do have a good reputation in the market.
Yeah, thanks.
Why have customers chosen your company instead of your competitors in the Gippsland area?
The most important thing that we do is that, everyone talks about looking after the customer's best interests. Frankly, I don't think a lot of companies are always actually practicing what they preached. So, our claim to fame is that if someone comes in with a power bill and says, I want to put solar panels on my roof, and we look at it and it's mostly made up of service charge or they're not going to be home during the day, so they'll be feeding the grid for a minimal rate, I'll say to them flat out, look, to be honest, I don't think this is a good investment. This is going to have a long-term payback, and if you are looking for ways to invest capital, it's probably better to reduce your power consumption maybe than putting solar panels on. And I think that honesty and integrity flows through in terms of the long term.
Yeah.
And that might go and tell someone else, you need to talk to these guys.
And their circumstance might change.
Absolutely. But what people come to us knowing that they're not going to be sold a system, they actually come to us and say, is this worth doing? And I think to have that reputation is really important.
Oh, it's wonderful. And how do you think the market will look in 2 years' time? And where do you see Gippsland Solar being at this time?
Well, we're investing heavily in battery storage. So the council's engaging us to go to each regional centre now and do information sessions around battery storage for home and maybe for small business, which is probably still a little bit further down the track for battery storage. So that's a big part of the game for us. We specialise in off-grid systems with remote monitoring and things like that, which is a huge market. Also too now with export limiting where you can oversize your solar power system. In our area there's always been a heavy restriction on how much solar you can install. So being able to oversize the system and restrict the export, that's just going to open up a whole new market for us.
Yeah, no, that's great. You were talking a little bit about this earlier, but what is the most important thing that a customer should look for in a solar company?
I think obviously it's a bit of a cliche. They need to look beyond the ticket price and not look at a price per kilowatt because that's such an unsophisticated way of looking at it. The benefit now is that so many customers have been burnt by poor quality systems or more exactly companies that just haven't come back and looked after the customer. We actually started a separate business called SolarFix. So all we do now, we've got one electrician in his own SolarFix van and he's out there 40 hours a week just fixing up, replacing dodgy panels, going back to jobs that the provider won't go back to. The customer just rings and says, I'm just fed up, I just want it fixed. So I think that the long-term service and support, I think is the thing that people are really appreciating.
Andrew, I really appreciate your time. It's always a pleasure to have a chat to responsible people within the industry, and it's great to get your insight.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you very much, Andrew from Gippsland Solar.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you. Thanks for the chat.